Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Harun Mushtaq here from Multan Public School and College with my video lecture for O-level students. Today we will be discussing about paper 1, that is writing paper, and section 1 of that writing paper. This section is called directed writing. Written here, directed writing. It is part 1 of this paper. It comprises 30 marks, directed writing. Total marks for this reading paper, total marks are 60. 30 marks are meant for directed writing and 30 marks for creative writing. There is choice, plenty of choice in creative writing, but there is no choice in directed writing. Only one question, or I mean one directed writing will be given to you and you have to attempt that. Just as a recap, few things I want to tell you. 30 marks are meant for this directed writing. There will be no choice. You have to write between 200 to 300 words in your directed writing. Here I want to clarify one thing, or I want to tell you one thing, that 200 and 300, it is not a very hard and fast limit. For example, if you write 20-30 words more or 20-30 words less, but you have written a very good piece of writing, obviously you will be getting very good grades. So don't always think about, or it should be not like that always the word limit keeps on haunting your minds. You can relax a bit, but not too much. Then instructions are given to you. You have to write according to those instructions, and you know that there are different things that can come in directed writing. I mean formal letter, informal letter, report writing, account writing, speech writing. Previously told to you in detail all these things. So instructions are given to you. You have to write according to those instructions, and those instructions will be given to you in form of bullet points. I mean separate 3 points are given to you, and you have to write on each bullet point, or you have to justify your writing on that bullet point. And next thing, you will be writing every bullet point in a separate paragraph. Each bullet point in a separate paragraph. Next thing, many times the students, they maybe just out of fun they ask that this is not a point, this is a very funny thing that they have asked us to write this, but keep it in mind that you are writing for examination sake, so follow the instructions. However stupid they appear to be to you, you have to follow the instructions, because you are here fighting for your grades. You are sitting in an examination. You are not sitting in a talk show where you can criticize. So always follow the instructions. So in this particular lecture, these things I just told you as a recap to refresh your mind. So if you have any confusion about the word limit or about any other thing, it should be clear to you. Otherwise, today the main the topic or the purpose of this directed writing is to tell you how vocabulary can play a very important part in winning you good grades. I mean appropriate vocabulary, or we call it also tone and register. tone and register, but sometimes the terminologies are, they are quite confusing and they are difficult for the students to understand. So we have to spend a lot of time to just to explain them what this terminology means. So simple here, simple thing is tone and register means, however I can tell you, register means the choice of vocabulary that you use for different formats of writing, and tone is the way you make a sentence, the way you build a sentence. In simple words, for your understanding, this is called appropriate vocabulary. I have in my mind two directed writings. One is a report writing, another is an account writing. I will tell you just few words, not few, many words, so that you can know how vocabulary can play a very important role in a particular situation or in a particular circumstances. Okay, now I think you have got what we are going to do today. Let me raise that directed writing. Okay, we are also going to erase it. Now, as I told you earlier, that today I will tell you about the proper use of vocabulary or the appropriate use of vocabulary. One is for report writing, and other is for an account writing. Account writing. I have one directed writing in my mind where I cannot read out the full text for you, where there is a there is an accident between two cars, and the police asked you as an eyewitness to write a report to help the police to solve out the case, so that they can determine who is the guilty party. So I want to just tell you, apart from the other things, the format, obviously if you want to write to the city police officer, and then write dear sir, but most of the times or in the recent years, the examiners or the teachers, they discourage or they don't recommend writing the addresses or these kind of things. Just start writing simply from dear sir or dear principal or respected principal. Most of the time instructions are given to you at the end of the directed writing. Write your report with dear sir, and with yours obediently, and don't forget to put your signatures at the end. So here I am talking about report writing. An accident between two cars. So you must know some typical or technical vocabulary, not very much technical, but to some extent, to describe very vividly or to describe in a in a very good manner about that accident. Suppose in your report writing that you are writing to the superintendent or the chief traffic officer, you must use the words like, I think I don't want to write here, later on I will send those words to you through my WhatsApp. Rash, reckless, I mean these are the words that are associated with driving. Then honking, overtaking, wrong side, applied brakes. You can use these words and then make sentences, proper sentences. It doesn't mean that if you know only these words and you don't know how to build a sentence, how to construct a proper or a good sentence, then you can get good marks. You, along with this vocabulary, as it is our topic today, the use of appropriate vocabulary, so you must know the appropriate vocabulary, and then the other thing is that you should know, or you must know how to use that vocabulary to a very very good effect. So rash, reckless, honking. Suppose a car was coming, the driver was driving very recklessly, he was continuously honking the horn, then he tried to overtake the other car from the wrong side, but the other car suddenly, I mean, it turned or swerved or something to the other side. He had to apply brake in some urgency or emergency, but in the but meanwhile the two cars, they banged into each other, they collided into each other, they smashed into each other. There are plenty of words that you can use. If the cars, suppose if they are coming from the opposite direction, then you can use this word that they had head-on collision, I mean from the front, head-on collision. After the accident, suppose the cars, they had an head-on collision, one of the car or two cars swerved. Swerved means that they just changed their direction due to that sphere impact of the collision. There are certain other words, zigzag, screech, like these words. Then you must include, I mean according to the, I haven't read all the director rating for you, but definitely the accident happened according to the director rating at some busy place. There were people, there were passerbys, there were shoppers who witnessed all this. Obviously you were one of them, or you are one of them. That is why police has asked you to write the report. Then according to your situation, or according to the situation given, you can say that fumes started to coming out from the engine, or maybe if there is some damage to the oil tank, you can also write the oil started to trickle from the tank of one car, as there is a danger of, I mean, car catching fire. If it is a very severe, I mean very severe collision, then the bonnet was crumpled. Crumpled, you know, as we take a piece of paper in our hand and just we do like this, and it had plenty of wrinkles. That is called crumple. So when we have a very severe accident, so there is a lot of damage to the bonnet or any other part of a vehicle. Police mobile arrived, police van arrived on the spot. Someone called the ambulance or the police mobiles. Sounds of hooters, sirens, like this. Then there was a hue and cry in the car. Maybe one of the passengers in the car, they had a lot of damage, or maybe they had plenty of severe injuries. They were screaming. Then maybe some other word. One of the drivers, he tried to maneuver the car, but he was not able to I mean to escape the accident. So the word maneuvered, it is also a relevant vocabulary in this case. A few people rushed, you can write few volunteers rushed, few young people rushed to help out the injured. A rescue team arrives. The police arrested the driver who was the culprit or who was at fault. The car was taken into custody. They took the car and the people, I mean, to the police station, and the injured, they were sent to the hospital after giving first aid treatment in the ambulance. So these are the, I mean, there are plenty of other words. There can be plenty of other words, but just to give you an idea, I want to say you must have different sorts of vocabulary in your armory if you want to get good grades. Otherwise, just writing simple two cars, they were coming from the opposite direction, then they hit from the bumper to bumper, and just clumsy sentences like this, it would not work for you. So, and how now students say, sir, you are a teacher, so you have a good vocabulary, but this vocabulary comes with the passage of time, with developing reading habit. Read English newspapers or other things. So it is not a matter of within days that you take out. There are plenty of books available in the market. Improve your vocabulary. You cannot improve your vocabulary, believe me, in such a case that you start memorizing 50 or 100 words daily. No. Your vocabulary building, or your store of vocabulary, you can compile up your vocabulary, I mean bit by bit, day by day, and then by using regularly in your spoken or in your writing. Now come to that account writing. The account is, suppose I mean, there was a directed writing where you had to write an account about an earthquake that struck a certain area, and that account was for a newspaper. So in this case, if you are not asked to give a suitable heading, then it's up to you if you give a heading or not. But better to give a very very eye-catching, or very attractive kind of headings as you find in newspapers. So this account writing is for, keep it in mind, for newspaper. So give a suitable heading. This account writing is just like a creative writing. You need not to write dear sir or something like this. Just start it like after giving a heading. Just start writing in a creative writing fashion. Okay. Give heading. If they ask you to give heading, then it is mandatory for you to give heading. Even if that you don't ask you to give heading, better to give a suitable heading just to impress the examiner. Now vocabulary that you can use for your in this particular situation. You can use that maybe you are the person who is describing this whole scene that you witnessed in an earthquake. The trees in front of you, they were swaying, you were feeling dizzy, or you had this misconception that you were feeling dizzy, and then suddenly you started feeling jolts, jolts are, I mean, a severe kind of trembling, a severe kind of pushing and shoving kind of thing. Uh, then you can also write that everything started to tremble, people rushed out of their houses. So this also, the word rushed out, it gives the impression of I mean the urgency plus panic. uh, so use apart from this, I want to say you must also know some typical terminology or technical terminology. I mean the earthquake is measured in Richter scale. So you must know this word, Richter scale, the word seismic, and other words like this. So you can tell your readers in the newspaper that how much was the intensity of the earthquake. Many other things, you can say the buildings or few buildings, they proved just a pack of cards, they just collapsed, they fell down. I mean, collapsed is far better word than fell down. And then the people were coming out of their houses in a frenzy kind of situation. The people were watching the I mean the malign, uh, uh, what is that word? I mean the cruel side of the mother nature. I think it is malign, if I'm not wrong. Then uh, you witnessed a few people crying. Maybe they were buried under the rubble, under the debris of the collapsed buildings or something like this. And there was chaos all over. There was chaos all over. There was destruction. You can even use the word catastrophe. Catastrophe you can also word if it is if it is an earthquake on a very, I mean, of a severe kind of, on a high scale. Then obviously police arrived, rescue teams arrived, rescue workers arrived, along with the paramedics to give the first aid treatments to the people. And after some time, machinery start to come over there just to remove the debris, or just to I mean excavate the people out of the rubble. The bulldozers, the excavators, the cranes, the tractors, or something like this. You can use all these things. Then to just to create a kind of, to give the impression of I mean the destruction, you can use the words of frightened, flabbergasted, and trauma. So all these words you can use here. If you want to tell about the number of the people died, you can say that after the I mean later the authorities told that the death toll was such and such people. And and the government officials, they measured the damage to the property and to the lives of the people. Uh, as I told you that you must know about the certain technical terms relating earthquake. So the center or the point from where the earthquake, I'm not I mean a specialist in geography, but that is called, I think, epicenter. Epicenter is the point from where the earthquake actually originates. the epicenter is this and this that point, and people or the newspapers or the different TV channels called it as the worst earthquake during the last 15, 17, 20 years. And then later the people were warned of the, I mean, about the possible danger of aftershocks. Aftershocks. I mean, after every earthquake, after every major earthquakes, the aftershocks. I mean, a minor kind of earthquakes. Uh, they keep on coming for few days. So the people were warned to be cautious or to be careful about the aftershocks. And I mean, a state of emergency was declared in the town or in the area. Schools were closed. All the hospital staff, including doctor, nurses, paramedics, they were called to the hospitals to look after the injured and to look after the people, this and that. You can also describe the dismal situation, for example, the people who lost their houses, whose houses were collapsed, or they don't have any houses no more. They spent their night in makeshift tents, what they were doing. So this is just I cannot dictate you a full-fledged directed writing, and I mean, it is not recommended, because you have to be creative. You have to write yourself. But I just give you, I mean, a plenty of words, just to let you know that how vocabulary play a very important part in a certain situation, in describing a certain situation. Different words are given to appropriate vocabulary, tone and register, precise vocabulary. Okay, so I think we must finish here, and then in my next lecture I will tell you some more things. Yes, I will send you all these words to your in your Meet group, and then later on, or when I will send you these words, at the same time I will send you an assignment relating to one of these. Either I will ask you to write this report writing about that accident, or the account writing about an earthquake. I hope you have got something from this lecture. Okay, then keep reading, keep reading and writing. Keep reading and writing. It will improve you a lot. It will improve you a lot. It will improve you a lot. Believe me. If I keep on delivering you lectures almost for 1 or 2 years and you do nothing, I'm not saying that you do nothing. I'm just saying that after listening to your, attending to your lecture, you must give your, I mean, feedback in some of that, in form of some assignment. So the teacher must know that how far his lecture is effective, or how far the students are capable of understanding that lecture. Okay, till then, Allah Hafiz, take care.